Hey, you guys, we're back for the transits of July 2026. Let's go ahead and talk about the expansive, heavy, crazy energy that these transits are going to bring to us. Let's talk about the collective energy, how it's rebuilding confidence while redefining a future that we're all going to build together. Let's dig in. Of course, we are leading into the month in a very impactful way already because on the 29th of June, we've got that full moon in Capricorn on the same day that Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer. Okay, so we've got that energy kind of leading into the month. It's going to ask us to reflect on emotional security, how we communicate with the members of our family, what kind of patterns have we been seeing in regards to how we nurture not only others, but definitely ourselves? Okay, so those are themes that you need to consider during this time. And of course, with any Mercury retrograde, we don't start new projects. It's a really good time to wrap up anything that you've already started, other projects that you have going. You are free to continue them, but adding a new layer, a new plan, any new commitment, it's not advised right now because Mercury is in control of your thoughts and communications. Okay. So when you're not thinking clearly because that energy is in retrograde, it's asking us to really kind of rethink things, look at things again. And it really does kind of make us want to say, oh, maybe we should change that. And the truth is, maybe you should. But the best thing is to just write down what you're thinking about changing or how you're thinking really in general, and then implement whatever still resonates with you when Mercury goes direct 3 months later. Jupiter is going to enter Leo. It is currently at the anaretic degree of Cancer, where it's been exalted and there for a year. It's been really having us all take a look at that nurturing property and just see like how we can expand within ourselves, within self-care, within kind of that motherly role. But now, as it's moving into Leo, it's saying, hey, guess what? It's time to be on the main stage. What are you bringing forward? How are you going to be able to express yourself in authenticity? This is a huge theme. We're moving from that inner awareness, that comfort, that security to saying, you know what? Let's get out there. I'm ready to be seen. I'm ready to be heard. I desire to be felt in my authenticity. Okay. Jupiter expands what it touches. And if it's going to live in Leo for a year, it's going to give us a lot of time to really feel like, okay, this is what I need to do. These are the steps I need to take to find comfort in that center stage role, right? So, how is that spotlight going to be on me? And that's going to be okay. How can you bring your authenticity, your creative self expression, your passions, and everything to the limelight without fear? Leave fear behind because there's no room for that where we're all going. And remember, we've got these retrogrades and they're here to really remind us not to rush. Okay. So, yes, Jupiter will move forward in direct motion into Leo. And that might kind of make us feel that push, right? We could say, like, wow, I'm so ready. I'm going to go have a bunch of fun. This is who I am. But really take these few weeks with the retrogrades. We've got the Mercury retrograde, we have Neptune and Saturn. All of these energies are kind of like asking us to reevaluate and really get a plan going. Okay. Be proud of who you are. Definitely have that courage, Leo, to express who you are. Jupiter, expand on your expression, and see where that shifts your identity. And then use the retrograde time to kind of, especially during the 3 weeks that Mercury is retrograde, use that time to really kind of look within and see what it is that is wanting to come out, what is wanting to be freed to express. Where Mercury is in your chart is very important as well. So if you can identify where that is, that'll really tell you what house is kind of being asked to like be taken another look at, restructure, revisit. And then, you can take a look into the Saturn and Neptune. Where are we really restructuring? I know they've been paired up for a while. And so, like for me, they've been on my midheaven. So my career has been kind of being restructured, right? Dissolving of the old career structure. And Saturn is helping to build the new career structure, which is based on what makes me happy, my dreams. So this is why I do astrology. This is why I do hypnotherapy, why I do tarot, why I do all of the things that really connect me to that spirit realm. Okay, so that's a huge part of who I am. And so it takes that energy with Neptune and Saturn. And although Neptune has that dissolving, like it's not really real, right? It's kind of like smoke. You can't grab it, but you can imagine it and you can think about it. Saturn's there to make it real. Saturn does build. Saturn says, okay, I see the energy you're putting down here. Let's take the steps to make it into something that is tangible. All right. So follow all that and really understand that while those planets are retrograde, it's kind of just giving you more of an opportunity to redefine what it is that you are building. What dream life are you building? Okay, so just allow yourself to really take the time and just feel the shift of the energy because it's going to be a big, big shift this month. All the while, Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, both air signs, are continuing to really reshape the collective energy. The consciousness is definitely evolving here. Tech, communication, community, it's all expansive. It's all changing. Everything's really moving forward. And it's up to you to either, move forward with it or try to deny it, but it's changing no matter what. And if you're going to change with it, best thing you can do is change with it in love. Okay? Don't bring fear where we're going. Definitely move forward in love because there are ways that you can use all of these things, even the advancements in tech, whether you're not into technology or if you are, it doesn't make a difference. The point is you can use these tools to advance yourself, to build a better community, use discernment as well, because really there will be more fraud likely because the more expansive technology gets, of course you have the shadow side too. So watch out for anything like that. If you're, whatever is new and being brought up could end up, we may have to work out the bugs, right? So get rid of the scammers, get rid of all that, use it to advance our purpose and what we're trying to do. And by the end of the month, when we have our full moon in Aquarius, I feel like a lot of people are really going to experience revelations about kind of where they belong and where they're headed and what it is that they're wanting to help create with just the collective energy, the collective consciousness, and how we're expanding and how we're going to do that authentically and on the main stage. So again, some major themes: the Mercury retrograde in Cancer, that's going to be June 29th to July 23rd. And really it'll be in the shadow all month long. So until August, it's possible that there's some fogginess. So just give yourself a little bit of a time to, and remember too, I do definitely want to warn that the day that Mercury moves stations, direct or retrograde, and in this case, retrograde on Monday, the 29th, it is always kind of the most rocky. And when we pair that with a full moon, which we are doing on Monday, um, the emotions are high as well. So definitely just if you can avoid any heavy conversations, anything that could cause any turbulence, just avoid it. Be very, very careful on the road. Mercury also rules short trips. Okay, so travel, your commute to work, things like that. And then, of course, with the full moon, we do always see more emotionally driven accidents and things like that. So be very, very cautious of that and be very careful. It's going to ask you on an on an emotional level too, to kind of just revisit your emotional wounds. It could really have you thinking about growing up and how you were treated. It could have a lot to do with your mother, because Cancer is all about motherhood. um, Allow those things to come up. Just allow them to. Let it all be weeded out, and, dig out the roots, whatever needs to come up. Take a look at it, write it down. Journaling is such a good thing to do during a Mercury retrograde. None of it could make any sense when you read it back, but it doesn't matter because you got it out, and what you can see, you can make sense of, even if you're just taking little bits and pieces. It'll all make a lot more sense when Mercury's direct. And with Jupiter moving into Leo, we're coming from that past focused inner emotional growth being in Cancer. And now we're saying, like, hey, guess what? You should have that confidence. You should feel ready. And we're going to have this whole year to build that confidence so that we're ready to be who we actually are, to be authentic, to shine, and to not have any shame, and to be creative and express ourselves. There could be a flair for some drama, for sure. We expand anything that is related, whether, so if you're kind of noticing that things are becoming a little bit more negative in the drama factor, then reel it in, okay? Just take a look at that and say, okay, I'm going a little fast. I need to just reset and figure out how I can expand on my truth and who I am and how I have fun. Okay. The Neptune retrograde is going to be in Aries on July 7th. So that will start kind of giving us another chance to restructure, see what our dream life really is. They kind of become reality tested. You could ask yourself, if what you're pursuing is actually what you want, is it still aligned with who you are, with this new present day you? Okay. Neptune's been playing with us for a while now, and it's been kind of asking us to really revisit those themes. Are you confusing fantasy with reality? Is there anything that is out of purpose? What was your original purpose? How can you make sure that you are doing what you want to do? It's going to give us all a chance to rethink that and say, what actually is something that makes me happy? What is my dream life? How do I get there? Right? You've had Saturn this whole time helping with that, whereas Neptune isn't necessarily the builder, it's the dreamer. And so it's nice having that support of Saturn energy, but Neptune is asking for you to say, like, are we even building the right thing? Okay. So just take a look at that. But one of the biggest moments in the month of July is going to be when we've got the configuration with Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Okay, so Uranus is going to be sextile Neptune, Uranus will trine Pluto, and Neptune will sextile Pluto. Okay, so those are really big events because we've got Uranus, the change maker, the rebel, the one who shakes things up, and it's sextile Neptune. So, like, this is really how I want my dreams to come to life. Uranus does not want to wait. This is my expansive plan. This is how I'm going to do it. I don't fit the norm anymore. Neptune is going to dissolve what doesn't work anymore and bring your dreams to life. Okay. And then we've got that trine to Pluto. Uranus and Pluto just ever playing together in any aspect is always going to be very, very heavy. Okay, we've got the rebel, the change maker. You don't ever see Uranus coming. You cannot predict what will happen. You can just predict that something will. And then it's trine Pluto, who is the death and rebirth, right? So that total restructuring, that empowerment, that um, transformation, it's very impactful here. And then Neptune sextiling Pluto is kind of just adding that energy. It does kind of soften it a little bit, but it is saying, it's really wrapping that together, right? So it's like, and these are positive aspects, absolutely, for sure. Trines and sextiles are the positive aspects, which is really good because we've got three power planets, heavy planets, slow movers, change makers, really ready to shift. This is why it's such a collective shift this month, because that is definitely, those are generational planets, generational movements. Okay. This is really going to support massive spiritual awakening. It's going to support tech breakthroughs for sure. Collective evolution, total new ways of thinking and living. Uranus is all about the community, right? So, how are you going to be feeling that you can contribute to a community that resonates with where we're going? Are you going to move forward in love or in fear? These are huge themes, okay? All of this kind of stuff is coming up, and it's all hitting us in different areas of our charts, but it's hitting us in such a collective, incredibly energetic way all throughout the middle of July, just really. And what's interesting is having that Mercury retrograde really kind of cloud the entire experience. So we're going to be feeling all of this. We may be a little confused, and Neptune being in the mix can be confusing, anyways. But you've got these power planets, and then the shift in Jupiter moving into Leo. I mean, there's just so much happening, so much heavy energy, and none of it has to be bad. If your focus is on the good, then, move forward with it on that positive timeline. Leave fear out of the equation. Move forward in faith. Believe me, we're going somewhere. Okay. It's definitely one of the biggest transits of the month. You will want to watch kind of for like power struggles. Okay. There could be some ego battles. You shouldn't be experiencing those. If your frequency is on the higher frequency, then those things will not affect you. Those will happen. Those things will happen. But that's kind of how that frequency shift really will manifest. You'll notice if you're butting heads with somebody, ask yourself, is there a reason? Why do I care? I don't want to bring this forward. I'm going to build a boundary here instead. So are you really going to allow that to be um, something that affects you on a deep personal emotional level, or are you going to use that for awareness and move forward? That's definitely what I suggest. Are you expanding from inspiration or from a sense of control? And then Saturn will retrograde on July 26th as well. So again, we will have the retrogrades this month. Just slow down. Okay. What structures support your goals? What needs redefining? Where are you forcing instead of building with constructive, well, how are you constructing your dream life? All of these things, it's giving you time to really look at these things. Okay. And there's all this expansive change making energy to support you in the process. I truly feel like the future is kind of peeking through the curtain. It's trying to reveal itself. And we need to remember that first we have to have the courage to step into that light and become the person who can meet it, who can receive it, who can play along with it and live in that type of frequency. Jupiter in Leo is definitely the spark, right? Uranus provides the breakthrough. Neptune is going to provide the vision. Pluto provides the transformation. They're all getting together and they're asking us to step into this new chapter. And this will be happening on an individual level, but absolutely on a collective level. So please do yourself the favor of doing things that are on a higher frequency. Be more aligned with your truth, with who you are, because that is what's going to match this new chapter. One way or another, something is changing, and it's up to you individually to choose. Do I want to go on the higher timeline, the higher frequency where luck and expansion exist, where there's love and, supportive change and totally different structures that actually help the community? We've got Pluto and Aquarius helping the community now, versus that top down structure of Capricorn that we had for so long. All of those things are breaking down. Do you want to move forward with them in love on a higher frequency? Or do you want to stay stagnant in a battle of the ego, seeing that lower level kind of timeline? I don't, it's completely up to you. But what you definitely need to remember is that whatever is challenging you, whatever is causing that negativity in your life, that's just awareness. That's saying, this is where I need to potentially build some boundaries. This is where I need to potentially part ways. This is no longer what feels right and resonates with me. Okay. Move towards what's authentic. Move towards what is for you. Let's talk a little more about kind of this great awakening configuration. All right. It's between the 15th of July and the 25th. So during this period, we've got Uranus sextile Neptune, Uranus trine Pluto, Neptune sextile Pluto, Jupiter trine Neptune, Jupiter sextile Uranus, and Jupiter opposite Pluto. They're all there. Really huge energy, really huge. It's like setting a brand new chart on top of an old chart and saying, this is the way it is now. Complete different energy. Okay. Some people would consider oppositions as more of a negative aspect, but I absolutely believe that it's up to you to treat it as a tug of war, right? Like one side is straining to be more powerful than the other, or it can be in balance, right? So why not create the balance with this? We've got the supportive sextiles and trines. We throw the opposition in there. We might as well make it good, right? It's going to create like such a powerful, energetic bridge, really, between the personal and the collective and the old and the new. Really, you can think about it like Uranus is moving us to the future, Neptune is the vision, Pluto the transformation, and Jupiter the amplifier. I cannot express enough that this month is probably the most powerful astrological configuration of this year. Okay. So if you feel it, that's okay. Just remember to move with it in love. That's all you can do. Jupiter is going to come up, behind us and crank up the volume. And Uranus is in Gemini saying, like, hey, the future is here. It's arriving. There's a lot of tech advancement, as you know already. I mean, we see that all the time. Uranus represents breakthroughs, awakening, total disruption of it, anything that you're familiar with. It's going to rock the boat. Innovative, liberation, all about the community. It's revolutionary. Okay. Gemini, that Uranus and Gemini energy is going to be bringing all of that disruption, that innovation to communication, to education, social media, technology, AI, transportation, any kind of data exchange. Okay. It almost feels like we are collectively entering like a new way of connecting with one another, a new way of learning, a new way of communicating in general. You may suddenly kind of feel like you can't do things the way you've always done them. Like your routine needs to just be shot down and just completely refreshed. That energy is a very normal thing to feel right now. It is definitely time to be inventive, innovative, reinvent yourself, reinvent how you go about your day to day. The future is now. It's arriving faster than you think. You can't call it the future for long. It's all changing. It's giving us a huge peek. It's just going to show us exactly how it's going to be. And it's up to us to catch the train or to stay at the station. Okay. Neptune's going to dissolve boundaries. Neptune in Aries is kind of dreaming in that new identity for humanity. Aries initiates, right? So who are you becoming? Not who have you been? Who are you now? What is Yesterday doesn't matter. A week ago doesn't matter. A year ago doesn't matter. What's today? What's tomorrow? What's 10 years from now? Okay. This is your new big picture. The big picture doesn't need to involve the past any longer. It's a totally different ball game. It's a totally different show, totally different movie. You're a totally different main character. It's time to change. Who are you becoming? And let's not forget Pluto being in Aquarius is really just already kind of been working to transform humanity. Okay. The community is working together in so many ways. Find ways that you can assist with that. Pluto's going to deeply transform so much. Jupiter's going to be so focused in on how we can be authentic, what the big picture is, what is our truth. Let's put that on the main stage. We have a year in Leo. Jupiter in Leo is going to be huge. It's such a huge dramatic change coming our way. I mean, you really just need to be ready for all that. And stay in balance, stay in your heart, okay? Make a lot of your decisions from your heart. Include yourself. Very much include yourself. Don't always do what's only good for everyone else. Quit being so much of a people pleaser if that's a problem for you. Understand that your worth, especially now, if we want to talk about another huge shift, it's Chiron moving into Taurus. Okay, it's at 0 degrees right now. It will be there for a few months, and then it's going to retrograde back into Aries, reminding us that we belong, reminding us of the wound we had just worked for so long to heal. Yes, we do belong. Yes, we are here on purpose, on time. And then we're moving into Taurus, saying, yes, we are worth it. Yes, we are worthy of love. We are worthy of existing in positive, happy relationships. We are worthy of money. We are worthy of beautiful things. Okay. So that's all a huge shift, too. I mean, we've got so many different things happening. We're healing wounds, we're moving forward, we're bringing everybody with. This is not a quick process, but it is all starting. Okay. This month is really pushing it forward, and it's really giving us a quick peek into what those themes are going to provide for us. It's laying down the bricks. We're going to walk the path, and we're going to see where that goes. And these heavy planets, they stick around where they're at for a long time. So this is going to define like the next couple of decades. Okay. Jupiter trine Neptune. The exact trine is going to be on the 20th of July. It's going to be a very beautiful, positive day. There's like a lot to really think about with kind of where your heart's at with your dreams, right? How are you going to expand your dreams? I've also talked before about the Virgo Pisces axis that we've had. Um, that's been highlighted for a while now with the eclipses, and the nodes, and everything like that. So just remember all of these pushes to expand on a spiritual level. I truly believe that we're all being asked to move forward and expand in our spirituality. Your vision, all of those things that really resonate with who you are, what your purpose is, what your passion is. Everyone has one. Okay. If you don't know how to find it, reach out. We will talk about it. I'm happy to be a guide. I'm happy to be your astrologer, your tarot reader, whatever. Okay. We can definitely get these things on a path that makes sense for you. So this can be a very confusing time. There's a lot changing. Um, Possibilities that you didn't see before are likely to show up for you. Be aware of the opportunities, take advantage of them. The energy truly is beautiful. It's a lot, but it's truly beautiful. Spiritual growth, creative work, manifestation, meditation, healing, huge, huge themes. Definitely stay grounded. Whatever your practice is, candle gazing, taking walks, meditating, whatever it is, okay, do it. Do it. Do it. Understand that really this is a gift, okay? Believing in something larger than yourself, believing that you are larger than yourself. You're part of this big, huge, expansive community. This is such a great time to be alive. You know, Jupiter's sextile Uranus is going to be on the 21st of July. That's some breakthrough energy. You know, it's all, everything's happening and it's happening fast. Unexpected solutions, unexpected freedom. Get ready. New opportunities everywhere, you guys. And of course, yes, we have all that heavy energy, but let's dive in to the new moon in Cancer that's happening on the 14th, 21 degrees, 59 minutes. And then we've got the full moon in Aquarius at 6 degrees, 30 minutes on the 29th. Aries, you will experience the new moon in your fourth house. Okay. So that is going to really bring a chance to kind of see what could begin new in your home, in your family. Um, Remember, we have this month of retrograde Mercury, so it could be a little bit kind of confusing, but you will see some themes regarding your home. But it's also likely to be a really good time to just stay home, clean the home, you know, renovate, anything like that. If it's already been in the plan, or if it's just a time that you just want to relax on the couch, put your feet up, not worry about a thing. That's super, super new moon vibe. It's going to be great. The end of the month brings the full moon in Aquarius. That's going to land in your 11th house. Okay. You're going to want to be out there hanging out with your friends. You're going to want to join the community. You're going to want to bring what it is that you have to offer into this kind of area of life, right? The community, the humanitarian efforts, whatever it is that you're trying, what you're involved in. Okay. Anything that has to do with big energy, you know, full moon brings everything to a head. So whatever's going on with your friends, whether that's positive or negative, that can come out on the full moon. And it is the end of the month where Mercury will now be direct, but it is still kind of in the shadow. So, although we will be a lot more clear minded, and it is okay to start projects even in a shadow. Um, but definitely during that new moon, you're going to be right kind of in the middle of that. And so just allow yourself that rest. It's a beautiful placement for you. Okay, so Taurus, the new moon in Cancer on the 14th is going to be in your third house. These are all based off of like your rising sign, right? So if this is called a solar chart, it may not be exact for every single Taurus out there, but it's going to be pretty close. And this energy is still very real. If you want an in-depth birth chart, go to my website and book. Solar Up just celebrated its first birthday. Also, I forgot to mention that we've got a discount of 50% off all services up until July 10th. So you might want to take advantage of that, especially for a Taurus who likes to be very conscious and aware of how they spend their money. We could all take a lesson. So that new moon being in your third house, it's going to say, hey, maybe I should revisit how I communicate. Maybe I should kind of soften my approach, right? Because Cancer wants to soften and nurture. That's beautiful, very beautiful. Third house is all about communication. It's all about short trips. You know, maybe you just want to run somewhere for the day and just kind of have a peaceful little private time. Sounds great. At the end of the month, the full moon in Aquarius will be in your 10th house. What's coming up in your career? Something big. Huge, huge time, maybe a promotion, um, maybe a new job entirely, but definitely a new way to be viewed in the public image. Okay. So that is, you know, it's all about kind of like that public life. It's really, it's just saying, hey, something's coming by the end of the month that is really going to spark, and it's going to make people look at you. You're going to be noticed. They're really going to want to see you as a leader, and that's kind of what that 10th house does. It really puts you in that leadership role. And so that's going to be on the 29th again. And yeah, so definitely kind of keep your your new projects to a minimum, of course, but by the end of the month, we will be free to move forward in something new. And that just might be in your career. All right, Gemini, the new moon in Cancer will be in your second house. That's the house of money, self-worth, your value, your material possessions. So, it's just definitely a good time to be reminded that you are worthy. You are worthy of good things. Set new intentions around how to grow your finances. The full moon at the end of the month in Aquarius will end up in your ninth house. How do you expand ninth house? The community, Aquarius, right? So what are you looking at? How do you bring the community into your higher mind? How do you tie those themes together? Something will come up that is part of your big picture that really wraps that energy together. Are you going to start a class? Are you going to start doing different gatherings? Are you going to start getting your friends together once a month? Anything like that. As long as it kind of fits your vision, your higher mind, your purpose, your expansion, that's what you're going to see really towards the end of the month. So that can be a lot of fun. Definitely place your focus at the new moon on the 14th on finances and how to grow your finances. Don't make any rash decisions. You can work on what you've been working on, of course, but a Mercury retrograde does definitely warn us not to do anything new. Don't come up with something new, sign any contracts, anything like that. Although you've got that energy in the money house, don't make any crazy decisions. Just manifest, manifest, manifest. How do you bring more money to you? And it could very well come 2 weeks later during that full moon when you have that Aquarius community mindset in your ninth house, your higher mind, your expansive vision. All right. Okay, Cancer, new moon in your first house. Absolutely. The new moon in Cancer on the 14th, it's going to really have you remembering about yourself. Nurture yourself. As a Cancer, you may spend so much time nurturing others, and that's beautiful. But this is really giving you an opportunity to remember yourself. So definitely keep that in mind. Middle of the month, you may be a little exhausted anyway because new moon, no moon energy, and we've got the retrograde Mercury. So it'll be a really good time to just focus on you, have some self care, allow yourself to do that. And then at the end of the month, the full moon in Aquarius is going to be in your eighth house. What a transformation. Okay. You've got that Aquarius energy. So the community, your friends, and just also revolutionary change, right? We're going to bring that into the eighth house of change, of transformation. That's going to be very interesting to you. I'm very curious to see what actually comes up because that eighth house is really secretive, but it's all about transformation. So secrets could come to light, but they could be your own secrets. They could be things that you needed to become aware of so that you can transform yourself, heal yourself from those things, and move forward in a more aligned way, which is totally the theme. So pay attention to what's coming up for you. It's all beautiful. Use your intuitive minds to really understand the energy and go with the flow. Okay, Leo, the new moon in Cancer on the 14th of the month, it's going to be in your 12th house. I love that for a new moon. 12th house and new moon energy are very closely related. You have the dark of the moon and you have the dark of that 12th house. It's that subconscious house. The moon rules the subconscious. It's a really good time to just let yourself chill, refresh, just don't worry about a thing. Allow what energy flows within you to just be present and just take it easy. That's the best thing you can do. You are about to have to lead a lot of people as Jupiter moves into your sign because that's going to be an expansive energy that a lot of people aren't familiar with. So give yourself that rest time, okay? It's beautiful. It's very nice of the moon to land on a new in your 12th house so that you have a little bit of a break time before we move forward. And then the full moon in Aquarius at the end of the month on the 29th, that's going to be in your 7th house. Okay. Partnerships, relationships, one-on-one interactions of all kinds. It can be romantic. It can be, somebody you work with or your best friend or whatever. That's going to be a huge energy, and it's going to be positive because it's Aquarius. And Aquarius tends to be positive. It tends to be a little bit unorthodox. Okay. So definitely understand that that energy is there. It's going to be boosted. And it is the end of the month where Mercury is finally direct and everybody's ready to talk. You could just surround yourself with a group of people, Aquarius, or you can have that one-on-one relationship because of that 7th house energy. So definitely keep that in mind. You will be very attractive that day. Go out on a walk, go do, if you're wanting to meet somebody, it's a really good time to go do that. If you're just wanting to kind of catch up with an old friend, it's a great time for that too. So definitely be out there, be sociable. All right. All right, Virgo. The new moon in Cancer on the 14th will be in your 11th house. Of course, there's not a whole lot of energy during a new moon, and we have that Mercury retrograde. And Mercury does rule Virgo. So keep that in mind, but understand that this is a really good time for you to kind of jot down ideas of how you can bring that Virgo service into the community, right? So how can you better humanity with your beautiful acts of service? These themes may come up for you middle of the month. Okay. It doesn't mean you need to go running at the first thing or act on anything, and definitely don't start any new projects right now. But these themes will absolutely come back around at the end of the month because our full moon is going to be in Aquarius. Aquarius rules that 11th house. So you have that energy all month long. It's beautiful. And it's going to end up in your 6th house. Okay. So 6th house is where Virgo naturally rules. So you really have that tied in, that service to humanity is really the theme for you for the month as far as the moons are concerned. Something's going to come up with your daily routine, your health, how you help, how you assist others. Definitely keep your eye on kind of planting positive intentions for that. And remember, you are included in your community. So don't forget about yourself, bring yourself with, and take care of everyone. Okay. Including you. Definitely including you. Okay, Libra. The new moon in Cancer on the 14th is going to be in your 10th house. 21 degrees, 59 minutes. That's where it's going to land. Okay. So if you know your birth chart, it may be a little bit off, but it's on your midheaven. Okay. So the 10th house is all about your career, your public image. Are you up for a promotion? There could be themes around that. It is the new moon. We do have a retrograde Mercury. So don't expect things to move quickly, but there will be movement, and there is time to really plant the seeds of intention and watch them grow. Nurture them. Cancer, nurture. Okay. Nurture them through the month. And then when we get to the full moon in Aquarius on the 29th, that's going to end up in your 5th house. That house is concerned with fun, your childlike energy, children, your creative self-expression. It's concerned with the sun. It's the house of Leo. Okay, so we've got that Aquarius energy, and that's an air sign too. So you're very familiar with that energy. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to have fun. If you're planning any fun trips, little weekend getaways, it's a really good time to do that. You're going to have a blast. Definitely focus on fun. Focus on how you can bring fun to other people as well. All of this energy is here for you the whole month to really kind of look within and see what it is that you want for your big picture. How do you want to be seen on that main stage? And then how do you make sure that you continue to have fun by being who you are, being authentic, and not giving up your own needs? Okay, Scorpio. The new moon in Cancer on the 14th of the month is going to land in your ninth house. So, themes of how to bring whatever you need to nurture into that expansive plan of yours, that's definitely going to come to life. You may be getting insights on how you can really nurture what it is that you need to move towards that kind of higher mind to really bring that into your daily routine, into your focus. What is it that you need to plan? Okay. Planning is new moon energy. Definitely new beginnings. Okay. And nurture them because Cancer asks for nurture. Take care of yourself, take care of what it is that you need to be able to be expansive, to be able to be in truth, be authentic, and just use that time to really evaluate that. See what comes up for you. And then the full moon in Aquarius on the 29th, that's going to end up in your fourth house. Okay, that's home, that's family, that's roots, that's um, what kind of expansive energy, full moon, big energy, can land in your fourth house? Are you thinking about renovating? Are you moving? Maybe it's time to just go through the closet, and just get rid of some stuff. You're going to have the energy to do so. You could donate that to the community, Aquarius, right? There's definitely some energy saying like there's some shifting in your foundation. Okay. Pay attention to it, go with the flow on it. You are able to start projects at that time because Mercury will be direct by then. You still may be a little bit fuzzy as it's in its post shadow, but it won't be for much longer. And, you just kind of go with the flow at that point, but definitely keep the community in mind. In an Aquarius full moon, it's really all about the collective energy. All right, Sagittarius. The new moon in Cancer on the 14th is going to end up in your eighth house. Beautiful placement for a new moon. Secretive hideout energy. Allow yourself to really just let the emotions up, see what happens, go hide out, take your time. There's not a lot of energy anyway. Don't make any plans. You may just want to sit at home. You may want to sulk. That's okay. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's good to say, wow, here's the giant mess, and then you lay it out on the table, and then you're able to organize it, chuck what you no longer need, fix what you want to keep, and put it all back. It's all good. You can do that. You've got the energy aligning with that. It's also going to really transform you in a lot of ways. So the moon is in charge of your intuition. All right. So you may find that you kind of bring out that energy. You may be more intuitive. And then the full moon in Aquarius on the 29th, that's going to end up in your third house. You'll be ready to communicate. Mercury will be direct by then too, so communication won't be near as difficult. You can move forward, go communicate with the community. Maybe it's a really good time to, you know, go be a public speaker if that's something that you're interested in. Go on that long trip. I know you like to do anything adventurous, so definitely highlight what it is that makes you happy. Bring that communication, those long trips and short trips, because you've got your Sagittarius energy and that third house. So any travel is definitely okay. Just, of course, be a little cautious because full moon definitely can bring out the emotions in people. So just be aware of that. But I think that you've got a nice month to really kind of transform whatever is going on emotionally and turn that into something positive that you may be able to share with the community. Capricorn, the new moon in Cancer is going to be in your seventh house. This happens on the 14th of the month. This is the house that's concerned with relationships, one on one conversations, one on one interactions. Could be legal matters. A new moon doesn't give a whole lot of energy, but it does kind of shake things up in a way that it can teach you, what it is that you feel like is either missing or needs to change. It's kind of a blank slate. You can set intentions on how you want your relationships to go. Okay. So definitely think about that. And with that nurturing Cancer energy, it's a beautiful time to kind of reevaluate your relationships. Awesome energy for that. Mercury is going to be retrograde, remember, so, you know, definitely try not to make any crazy decisions or finalize anything. Full moon in Aquarius on the 29th is going to land in your second house. So you may make some extra money, but you definitely need to remember your worth. These themes of that second house are heavily related to your self worth. So, sure, you can absolutely make some money. Bring it in. Let's do it. That's amazing. You know you're worthy of it. Okay? Tie those themes together. It definitely helps. It amplifies it. And so does a full moon. So let's go get it. All right. So, Aquarius, the new moon in Cancer on the 14th. That's going to land in your sixth house. That is concerned with your health, your daily routines, how you are of service. Definitely keep those things in mind. Most definitely focus on your health and how you can bring something positive into your daily routine in regards to that. Okay. Even if that's 5 minutes of meditating a day, keeping yourself in balance is a huge, huge help for your health. It doesn't have to be taking ibuprofen or going on a 5 mile walk. It can be very simple as long as it is purified in your energy and it's something really something that nurtures you, because Cancer is a nurturing sign and it's really asking for you to bring that to your daily routine. And then 2 weeks later, we have the full moon in Aquarius, which will, of course, be in your first house. All eyes on you. You will be the leaders to showing everybody how to be rebellious, how to be the change maker, how to involve the community and expand, all of these themes of like collective energy. The whole month, we've got so much going on. We're going to be looking to you in this real like shakeup of a time. We're going to need a leader. So you're definitely one of them. We've got a few leaders stepping up this month, but truly just see what comes up. Take time for yourself. It's all about you. Everyone's going to be looking towards you as well. So first house is concerned with you, your physical body. So if we've got some new moon energy in the health house and then the physical body in the at the end of the month, then definitely kind of keep that in mind. Listen to your body. If something feels off, listen to it. All right? Pisces, the new moon in Cancer is going to be in your fifth house. We don't have a whole lot of energy going on in a new moon, do we? But you know what? You're okay with that. You like to kind of chill out. So, what is fun for you? Fifth house, fun. Maybe it is chilling out. You are a Pisces. This sounds perfect. Okay? Be in your solitude and your privacy if you want. Go connect with nature. Do whatever brings you joy. Hang out with your kids. Um, Definitely just kind of bring that like childlike self up to this current phase and let yourself just be new, renewed, and set some intentions for how you can continue to bring that fun into your daily life. And then 2 weeks later, the full moon in Aquarius will be in your 12th house. That's your natal house as well. So you've got that 12th house energy. And it is a full moon, but that's okay because you're very familiar with that house. It's going to be all about your subconscious. Okay. What's behind the scenes? What's in the depths? What do you have kind of unseen right now that needs to be seen or can be seen? Do you want to go really hide out again? You're absolutely able to do that. You've got that 12th house energy. So a whole month of you kind of really bringing it inside. We're about to enter Leo season after all this. So, there's a really, this is a good chance for you as a Pisces to kind of reset before we're all ready to jump forward. So yes, we've got a lot going on this month, but really just use this month to kind of ask yourself those questions. What are you outgrowing? Where are you headed? Um, where are you seeking approval? Hopefully, you're only seeking it from yourself. How can you move forward in authenticity? Huge theme. How can you help completely crumble the old structures that don't work and be part of the community and help rebuild in a working way, some way that actually benefits this current phase of life that we're in? Trust the path that is unfolding before you and honor where you have been. Welcome who you are becoming. This is a huge energetic shift this month. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Solarup.com, SOULARUP.com. Up until the 7th of the month, all services are 50% off, celebrating Solar Up's birthday. Don't miss it. We've got some beautiful, beautiful zodiac boxes as well that I have been making and I'm slowly introducing online. It's more of something that I've been selling in the community right now, but definitely if you're interested to know more of that, reach out. I respond very well to my emails. All the information's on the website. And before we go, let's take a look at the opportunities for stargazing. On July 4th, Uranus and Mars are conjunct. You will be able to see that a little bit before sunrise. So just look towards the Taurus constellation. Uranus is going to be kind of a pale blue, and Mars will be brighter. It does have that reddish tint. But you can definitely, those are very visible, and it's usually pretty good weather around that time. So you should be able to see that with the naked eye. July 16th and 17th, the moon will be a very slim crescent moon at that point, and it's going to pair up with Venus right after sunset. That will be really pretty. Venus is the brightest thing in the sky, other than the moon. So the two of them pairing up together, that'll be a really magical moment. Don't miss that. And then at the end of the month, towards the full moon, kind of unfortunately, the 28th and 29th, there is a meteor shower. Now, the full moon does make it harder to see those shooting stars. But if you kind of wait until like after midnight, the moon will have moved enough. There's a lot better of a chance to see those meteors. But you guys, there's a lot of huge energy right now. We are absolutely getting ready for a collective shift. And I think that it's wildly appropriate to say that the sign of the day is going to be new direction. Okay. So this one, you're going to kind of make two little cups and scoop out new, right? So new and then direction, new direction, new direction. All right, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. It's a lot of information. Reach out, reach out. And again, until the 10th, you've got 50% off your services, hypnotherapy, astrology, tarot reading, spiritual guidance, anything you find, 50% off. All right, it's a limited time. And I will see you guys soon, and enjoy the beautiful energy and use every bit of it for good. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.